this is with a convincing argument put forward by our customers. Ladies and gentlemen, let me particularly take note of the presence of our champions from the cargo division in the head office, who have been instrumental to the introduction of cargo freight services into Tanzania. Our executive manager, Cargo Africa Division, Mr. Dixon Clomo, who has been one of the pioneers of this freighter. Mr. Sam Ndovo, Manager Strategic Planning and Aeropolitical. Without him, we wouldn't have probably had this freighter. Mr. Leonard Kosedi, Freight Manager, who is responsible to make sure that we get everything, and he has made a commitment that he will give us everything. So let's support him later. Lennox, where's Lennox? Yes, this is Lennox. In the local department, we have Mr. Hamedi Hamza, Sales Executive to Tanzania. He is supposed to be keeping the face and visit our customers and make sure that they get the required services that is possible. That includes the cargo rates, receiving the phones, and actioning your air bills if need be. Lastly and not least is our Teddy Otiano, who is our sales rep for passenger and also responsible for cargo side. I'm also grateful to the distinguished representatives from the government, non-government, exporters, travel trade, who have honored us tonight to support our common interest in export from Tanzania. I have a firm conviction that the freighter will add value to both parties for the benefit of our country's economy. In conclusion, I hope you will tonight use the occasion to network with our team here to build a strong relationship and promote the cargo out of Tanzania and worldwide. In the meantime, I would like to welcome Mr. Dixon Kono, our Executive Manager Cargo Africa, to take the podium. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As Hassan has already mentioned, my name is Dixon Komo. I'm the Executive Manager for Africa for South African Airways Cargo. And welcome, and our pay line, as it says, taking Africa to the world and the world to Africa, South African Airways. I just want to share with you our passenger network and our freighter current network and the new routes, just briefly to speak about our new routes as well. In our current network on our passenger on the Africa continent, we operate to the following destinations. Obviously, Johannesburg being our hub, we operate to Dakar in Senegal, we operate to Accra in Ghana, Lagos, Douala, Entebbe, Nairobi, Kinshasa, Libreville, Dar es Salaam, Luanda, Lusaka, Lilongwe, Blantyre, Harare, Livingston via our partners and on our own metal, Gaborone, Windhoek, Maputo, Lubumbashi, Port Louis, and Walvis Bay. In America, we operate directly to JFK in New York, Washington. In South America, we operate to Sao Paulo and to Buenos Aires. In Australia, we operate to Perth. In the East and the Far East, we operate to Hong Kong and to Mumbai, and soon to Beijing as well. In Europe and the United Kingdom, we operate to London Heathrow, to Frankfurt, and to Munich. And via a purchase of capacity, we also operate to Luxembourg as well, 80 tons once a week. Now, that is our current passenger network that we obviously have belly space capacity on all those flights. In terms of our current freighter network, We operate out of Johannesburg to Maputo. We operate to Luanda. We operate to the DRC in Kinshasa. We operate to Lusaka in Zambia. We operate to Blantyre in Malawi. And the new routes that we are launching with a with a B737-300 freighter, 16-ton capacity, 8 pallet positions on the main deck, and 5 ULD positions on the lower deck as of the 21st of June 2011, with the following routing: Johannesburg, Dar es Salaam Entebbe, and Entebbe, Johannesburg. Now, in terms of the actual commercial flight, we will sell out of Johannesburg to both Dar es Salaam and Entebbe. Out of Dar es Salaam, we will sell Entebbe, Johannesburg, and the rest of the South African network that I've just spoken to you about. So, out of Dar es Salaam, you can sell any of the points into any of the destinations in Africa and in the rest of the world, and we should be able to connect that as speedy as possible. And the most important thing is that this is a direct service. It's not a lag service that will offer you a 3 or 4 day connection. It's a scheduled service. Every Tuesday, like clockwork, we will be here. And we are starting off with 1 frequency, but from your feedback, just through the interaction that we've had, the indication is that your requirements might exceed it. And once that happens, we'll immediately then introduce a 2nd and a 3rd frequency on that. With Hassan, I will leave a floor plan of the actual freighter in terms of the ULD positions and the pallet positions that we can load. The equipment that we use, as I said, on the main deck is pallets. On the lower deck will be the AKE containers and the AAY containers and the AAK containers as well. And the PAJ, obviously, are the pallets on the main deck. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have been planning this for a very long time. It's finally here. The 21st of June, we arrive with the freighter, and we really hope for your support. We thank you for all your support that you've given us over the years. And this is just part of phase 1. We will announce the phase 2 very, very shortly. It will also include an additional point in Tanzania that we will announce very soon. We will be available immediately after this for some snacks, some drinks, and a networking session. And we are very welcome to take any particular questions that you might have regarding the finer detail in terms of the actual freighter operation. And I'd like to thank you very much and say enjoy the evening and have a very good evening.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, mine is basically just to thank you for having made time to come and join us on this momentous occasion tonight. We really are appreciative of the time that you allocated for this event. As Dixon was saying, our commitment to Africa is unrelenting. We are actually working closely to try and support business whichever way it goes. And we want to basically focus mostly on expanding our route into Africa. I would like to say that we really are seeing the whole process as a partnership. We are driven by your requirements, and we can always align any network depending on what your requirements are. So, in our engagement, you can always give us any input, any feedback, any proposals in terms of what you want. But having interacted with a number of people here, we actually are very appreciative of the fact that it does seem like we are definitely going to have to, increase our network into this particular area.